And I played with a gent a couple of weeks ago, and he didn't place the ball at all or clean his ball when he had the opportunity to. He just literally hit the ball as it lay, and it made me think, how much would not cleaning and not placing your ball on a very wet winter golf course affect your scoring? And that's what I'm doing out here today at Churston. So my playing partners dropped out on Wednesday, so what I did is I grabbed the first available tee time, and this is 7:30 at Churston Golf Club last Wednesday. As you can see, we had a light frost to start with, so it was important not to lose balance on the first tee shot. Didn't quite commit to it and pushed it a little bit right and came up a little bit short of the green. There was no mud or anything on the ball here because it was still quite frosty, but the lie wasn't particularly good. We were actually playing off a little bit of mud, so it's important to commit to this shot. Breaks in a little bit from left to right as well. So I've chosen a little 9-iron. I'm going to try and land it on the front and hope for a firm bounce because the green's still hard. Played it well. It's running up nicely now. I'm going to leave myself about 10 foot left for par on the first. I was that early that I actually beat the greenkeeper out to wipe the green. So there's a little bit of dew on this green, so it's going to be a little bit slower. I hit an okay putt, but it came up a tad short. It really needed to be hit and it would have kept his line. So that's a 4 on the first and we're 1 over par. So second tee. Look at that sunrise in the distance as well. Just playing a 5-wood. It's slightly downwind, so just going to hit it over those trees and try and draw it. I struck it well, but it's not drawing. It's going to carry those trees, so it shouldn't be too bad, hopefully. I've got 165 out. You can see the 150 post in front of me. A little bit restricted by the tree, so I've grabbed the 6-iron. I'm going to grip down the shaft slightly, commit to the shot. Just keep it a little bit low, hold the finish off. Get it bouncing up. The pin's on the left-hand side. I've hit a really good shot here, but I can't see where the ball's gone. But I think it's good, and I know it's on lines. I'm hoping I've hit the right club. We get up there, and it's pretty good with a makeable birdie putt. So this putt comes out with a right. It's not going to break loads, but it's probably just outside right edge and up the hill, so needs hitting. Hit an okay putt, but it took the break. Caught the left edge and didn't drop. So a par. Not disappointed with a par after the tee shot, but I did leave myself a good opportunity for birdie there. Third hole is a par 5 from this tee. Hitting 5-wood because I don't like the shape of the hole. You need to hit a draw sort of from the right hand side. Get it running. It is downwind, so I could get there with 2 5-wood today. Just caught it a little bit low on the face. Haven't really got much of it. It's okay. It's straight, but it hasn't got much distance in it. So coming out the light rough. The lie is okay. Again, no mud on the ball, but it is a little bit muddy underneath. So decided to hit 5-wood. I would need a really good strike to get there from here. I've got like 230. Hit it very low on the face again. It's running, but it's landing in the dew, so it's not going to quite make the green. Should leave myself sort of 40 or 50 yard pitch. Here's the first mud ball. The lie is good, but the ball is covered in mud, so I'm just going to go in here. I've got like 55 yards with a lob wedge. Just play it nice and controlled up the right hand side. One bounce and get it down to the pin. The pin is tucked right, and it's on a slope. I was just a bit unlucky there. It stopped. The mud almost like stopped it from running down the hill. So left with a breaking putt here. It breaks from the right. Loads and loads of break on this. Doesn't appear to be any mud on the ball, which is great. Although we have got a bit of dew on the fringe because the fringe hasn't been wiped. So start it up right and let it break. Just not quite hit it hard enough. Now it's taking the break. Missing left down this slope. And it's going to run sort of 6 foot past, leaving myself an awkward putt for par. So this one is straight up the hill, probably right centre, but needs hitting because it's probably one of the slowest putts you could have on the golf course today. Needs a good stroke. Hit a decent putt there, straight into the middle of the hole and save my 5, so 1 over par. Short par 3 here, 160 yards. Going at it with 8-iron. Going to try and draw it in from the right because it does kick from the right as well. Started it too far right and I've pushed it as well. Club face slightly open, hoping it carries the bunker. It does, and it's going to leave me a chip down the green. The ball's nice and clean, but the ball is sat lie-wise on a little bit of mud, so not much grass here. Just going to play a little 9-iron, try and land it at the top of the slope, let it feed down from the right towards the hole. Important not to go long though, because there's a dip past the green. Played it well. The slope's taking the speed out, which is good. It's breaking now. Telling it to go. It's going to come up a tad short, but not a bad chip. So a 6-footer down the hill, breaking out of my right. Very quick this putt. We've got to make sure we start it right enough and just sort of let it die to the hole. Hit a decent putt here, in all the way. Pleased with that. Good up and down. And we stay 1 over par. So this is the par 5 of a real forward tee, almost on the edge of the fairway, playing about sort of 500 yards, so it is reachable in 2. Out of bounds down the right hand side, so want to keep it sort of left side if you can. I've struck this one, but it's slightly out the toe, so it's going to just drift left into the trees, hoping it's got enough carry on it, because if it carries far enough, I should have a line to the green. When I get there, I've got a decent line to the green. The lie's pretty good as well. A little bit of mud on it. Again, I've hit quite a low flight here. I'm hoping it gets over the bunkers. And sort of, it does kick in from the right, but because it's wet, it's not going to kick in enough, and it's going to leave me right at the green. So not a bad lie here. No mud on the ball, which is good. Chipping down the slope again. Trying to land this short and bounce it down. Comes in from the right. Really pleased with this. Executed perfectly. Should leave myself sort of 3 foot for birdie. This putt is trickier than it looks. It breaks from the left, but I've got to hit it almost outside left lip, and it will die dramatically to the right as soon as it loses pace. I'm trying to be more positive on these putts and hit them in a little bit firmer. So hit a good putt there, but it goes in right edge. It's a good birdie. We're back to level par. I'm pleased with that. So the greenkeepers are doing a bit of work on the hedge on the right-hand side, so we're not using the summer tee. So we're now on sort of the ladies' summer tee. Hit a decent shot here. It's perfect down the left-hand side. I wasn't too sure of the line because I've not played off this tee for about 10 years. But when I get down there, it's almost perfect. And I've got 4-iron in my hand. Lie's decent. Sat down a little bit. No mud on the ball, though. Going to keep it up the right and try and draw it in. Again, I've just left the blade slightly open, so it's not going to have the distance to get there. And it's going to come up short and leave myself an awkward little chip shot. So we got mud on the sort of top or middle section of the ball, but hopefully I can strike it below that mud. So playing a wedge now, and I'm going to try and land it up the right-hand side and just let it drift back. Played quite a good shot there. It's running through nicely, but again, just a touch short, leaving myself an awkward breaking putt. So I read this putt as breaking a cup outside the right, but we need to keep it up the right because it will break left quick when it loses pace. This is probably the worst putt I've hit for a while. Hit it too hard and also rotate the face slightly and pulled it left. So putting back now, it should be just outside my left. Hit a decent putt in the middle of the cup there. Bogey, not a bad bogey, but still a little bit disappointed. So this hole shapes dramatically right to left. So you need to hit it as close to that left-hand tree as possible without hitting the tree. Put 5 wood in my hand so I can draw that. And I've just turned it over too much. Thankfully, it's missed the tree by literally inches and should leave myself a decent pitch to the green. So down the left side, couldn't really ask for a better lie, to be honest. It was sat nicely up. Got 72 yards, so I pulled out lob wedge into a little bit of wind. I did check the wind there, if you notice. Pin's tucked short left, so you don't really want to go past this. I'm trying to land it just short and hop it up. At this stage, I'm like, this is all over it. This is going to give myself a good birdie opportunity. It lands short and doesn't bounce. It stops short of the green. Thought it was so much better than the actual end result, but shouldn't be too difficult to chip, but just a little bit disappointed with that. Apologies, I didn't take a picture of the lie or whether there was any mud on the ball, so I don't think there was. A little bit heavy-handed with the wedge there. Fraction thin, hit the downslope and ran an awkward length pass. So this one breaks as we're looking down up the screen from the right-hand side, my left, and it's got quite a bit of swing on it. Not an easy putt this. Again, trying to hit them in quite firmly and keeping them on line. Again, pleased with that. Putting quite nicely at the moment. Saved my par. So the 8th hole was only 115 yards from this tee. So I'm going at it with 50-degree wedge. It's slightly downwind. Pin is quite accessible today. And as I take the club back, I don't know if you can see this, but the ball just moves towards me. Comes straight over the top and hooked it left into the bunker. Probably the worst shot I've hit for a while.
Ball actually moved.
And there's the excuse. As I'm the first one on the course, the bunker's been nicely raked by the greenkeeper, so I've pulled a good lie. Although my feet are outside the bunker and the ball's in the bunker. Called it fractionally heavy, expecting it to run down the hill, and it didn't. We're left with about 20 foot for par. This is breaking outside the right. Probably like 2 or 3 foot. Thought I started on a good line, but could have gone even higher. As it's lost pace, it's drifting left. but it's left myself in a reasonable, easy tap in, which I've done, but a disappointing bogey on the shortest hole on the golf course. A sexy little shot tracer for you here. Going in with my new rescue club. Just going to hit it, just leave myself sort of 100, 120 yards in. It is a temporary green, so didn't need to hit a lot of club off here. Absolutely buttoned it straight down the middle. Soft bounce. It hasn't really run up the hill, but I've left myself sort of 120 now to a temporary green, a big bucket hole. Played a wedge, tried to hit it easy. Just caught it really well. Caught it in the middle of the club, and it's gone towards the green. I'm not sure where it is. Get up there a little bit long, and I'm on the green. Winter rules state that if you're on the green and we're on a temporary, you have to drop off. Just showing you what the condition of the ball is. So I'm going to drop this on the side of the green at the nearest point of relief, and then we're faced to chip back towards the temporary green. This is the bucket hole. Quite a lot of dew between the actual where my ball is and the hole, so I've grabbed a little 5-iron. I'm going to play like a lofted putt, really. So I've just chipped it, got it running. It's just breaking to the right now, but it should leave myself a reasonably easy tap in, which I've just kept the same club and just tapped it in.
That's my first chipping of the year.
Tried to be funny there as well. The 10th hole in the winter is a par 3. It's 155 yards. I'm hitting 8-iron. Hit an okay swing. Again, just left the blade slightly open. It's going to come up short right. So I'm going to have a chip shot over a bunker. I'm hoping that I can actually chip left of the bunker. So this bunker is really in my eye line, and I'm trying to focus on a landing position on the green. Need to throw it far enough, because if you land it short, it will kick left. I've not quite got it. It's kicking left now. A little bit disappointed with that. Another 2 or 3 foot further, and it would have been stiff. But it's kicked to the left, so I've left myself sort of 15 foot for par. So not much break in this, just trying to get the pace right and put a decent stroke on it. Hit this nicely. I'm expecting it not to break, and it's rolled right in the middle of the hole. Really pleased with that. Good par save and an up and down. Putting decent at the moment. I'm really pleased with that. Putter gets a little kiss as well. It's the 11th hole. Pulled out my rescue club again. Trying to hit down the right-hand side and just draw it in there. Leave myself a little pitch onto the green. Not a very good swing. Slightly over the top. Hit the toe as well, and it's going left into the trees. Praying for a good lie now, but I think I'm going to be blocked out. So when we get down there, we are blocked out. The tree's in the way. I'm thinking of going through this gap that I've just shown, but I'm thinking it's too risky. So I'm going to go out right and try and hook it. Come up a little bit short and leave myself a pitch up the green. Trying to be sensible here. Play a little 6-iron and draw it. Drawing it nicely. Now I'm telling it to slow down because there is a bunker. I don't want to go in that bunker because that'll leave an awkward shot. It's come up a fraction short. Again, not sure why I didn't take the picture, but played a little 9-iron, run up the green. Really pleased with that. Just come up a fraction short, but should leave myself a good chance of saving par. Left myself 4 foot back up the slope. Need to be nice and positive with this. Make sure it doesn't break. Going to hit this dead straight with a little bit of pace. Concentrate on making a decent stroke. Really pleased with that. We're out of position with a tee shot, but gave ourselves a good chance of making par. So 12th hole, I'm trying to be aggressive here. I've pulled out driver, get it as far down as possible. We're playing into a slight wind as well. Normally hit 5 wood. Oh, pulled it. Terrible shot. Straight into the trees. You'll hear the noise of the tree in a minute. It hits the tree, but it does come out. It drops down, but it's going to leave myself a long shot in. So, got a rescue club, need to hook it. Similar to the tee shot we just hit on 11. If we get that shape, it would be absolutely perfect. A really good lie and a clean ball, which is positive. Struck this nicely, great shape as well. Want it to bounce right. It's just going to stay up there, unfortunately, because it's kicking left into the slope. Going to leave an awkward chip shot. So above the hole, this breaks massively from left to right. Got to land it short of the green and let it bounce down. It's all going to feed right, but you've got to make sure you hit it far enough to get it up the slope for the slope to actually take a bit of force. Played this nicely. It's now breaking to the right. Want it to slow down now, which it's doing. Leave myself a good chance of saving par. Got to be careful with this putt. It has got a bit of break on it. It's breaking out of my left, right as you look, but it will break sort of half a cup. So got to hit it with pace as well, as it will go drastically to the right. So hit a good putt, breaking in. Gone in left centre. Good save there. So that's normally the hole down on the right hand side, but today we've got a temporary which is about 215 yards, but you have got this overhanging tree which sort of guards the left side. So got to hit it out the right where they're walking now and draw it into the pin ideally. The plan is a rescue club with the same shape I've hit on the previous 2 holes. That's the plan. Oh, I've hit it so fat. Just awful. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Oh no, it gets worse. A little sky mark. We're left with 73 yards into a 200-yard par 4. So straight up the hill, got a load of mud on the ball as well. So I'm going to play a little 50. Push the hands forward, try and keep the ball flight down and get it sort of bouncing up there. Thought this was so good when I hit it. It's just landed on the green and hopped forward, leaving myself sort of an awkward downhill putt into a massive bucket hole. Can't really see a lot of break in this putt, so I'm going to hit it almost straight and just hopefully it stays on line. Obviously it's a temporary green, so it's like putting on the fairway. Bobbled a bit, just missed the right edge, ran like 3-foot pass. So I'm just going to tap this one in, not taking much time over this putt. Just going to hit it in the back of the hole. Oops. Yeah, not good. Even on a massive temporary green hole, still important to concentrate. And that was absolutely pathetic. So I've had a little word with myself and regrouped. This is a reachable par 5. Got to keep it down the left side, just inside those sort of small trees and let it fade. That's the plan. Just pulled it a fraction. Needs to go on that line. It's a bit too far left. Just hoping for a decent lie, which would give me a chance of reaching the green in 2. So the lie's decent. There's no mud on the ball, but we've got a restricted backswing. So grabbed the 5-iron, but stood close to the ball. I'm going to try and just push this forward, really. Trying to get myself into a position where I can get there in 3. Bit restricted. Don't want a broken club here. So just a sawn off follow through. Hit it really good and struck it. Going towards the bunker, but it just got over it, which is good. Should leave myself a reasonable shot, third shot in. Ball covered in mud, middle of the fairway. Pin left hand side. Got 120 yards here. My wedge goes 135, so this should get there comfortably. I'm just going to hit nice and easy. Hit a decent strike here. I'm really pleased with it, but it looks like it's short, and it has. It's landed, pitched and plugged just short of the green. I thought that was plenty of club to get there, so we was really affected by the mud. So decided we're going to play every shot as it lies, and this is plugged. I know I could get a drop, but it's a bit of fun. Going to hit the top of the ball and let the ball jump up, and it did. Really pleased with that. It's going to leave myself sort of 5 foot left for par. So left to right breaking putt here, just outside left, and sort of let the slope take the ball to the hole. Again, nice and positive. Decent stroke. Gone in left side, but a good save for par. So the 15th, par 4, dog leg slightly to the right. Hitting drivers, try and carry the bunkers and the trees. Keep hitting everything a little bit left. And this tee shot was no different. Slightly pulled, it's almost good. No fade on it whatsoever. It's going to land towards those trees, but only just in the trees. So again, hoping for a decent lie. Get up there, the ball is covered in mud and it's on a muddy lie. Got 120 yards, so I've decided to hit wedge, which is what I hit on the last hole, which went about 117 yards. I'm going to hit it quite hard to make sure we get it back there. Loads of mud on the ball, like I said, so I'm not really sure what it's going to do. Hit a decent swing. Think it's all over it. Going to give myself a birdie opportunity, and it lands short again. Sort of half a club short from being good. So the ball's come out of its pitch mark here, which is good, but I'm going to have to chip it over the top of the pitch mark. So pulled out 50, trying to land it just onto the front edge, breaks left to right, and try and get it close enough to make a par. Played it well, but it's kicked forward and gone an awkward distance past again, and I'm really putting pressure on my putting. Again, not an easy putt. It's going to break out from my right, probably half a cup. Loses pace, it's going to shoot off. So again, got to hit this with some pace, like I said, and hopefully it keeps its line. Been putting really well, so I just want to continue that trend, ideally. struck this putt well, but didn't start it far enough right, and it's just, thankfully the pace has kept it on line and a good save. So par 3 here at Churston, about 140 today, pins right at the back. I'm going at it with like an easy 8-iron. Good swing there, struck it well, drifting again slightly right, not quite squaring the club face up on some of these sort of mid-irons. It's landed on the green, but left me a lengthy putt from a relatively short distance. So this now breaks quite a bit from the left. Probably got best part of 35 feet here. So realistically, probably a 3 putt is a greater percentage than a 2 putt. So I want to try and keep my round going. So I'm going to hit this quite firm out the left and let the slope do its work. This didn't start it far enough left. It's breaking now to the right, but really pleased with the weight. Didn't break as much as I thought either, so just an easy tap in. Par, and then we're faced with another par 3 coming up. 17th hole is 155 yards. The pin is tucked a little bit right, so I'm going to hit left and try and use the slope to bring it back down towards the pin, but the left miss is better than the right miss. Really pleased with this. Hoping it's the right club now. Flight was a bit lower than I expected. It's landed on the green and almost stopped dead, so I'm going to leave myself a tricky downhill putt for birdie. Not a lot in this putt. Just from the right hand side as you look up the screen, my left. All about pace. Get the pace right, get a 2 putt and get onto the 18th. So hit a decent putt here. Think that the pace is good. It's not going to run too far past. It's tracking, it's just come up a touch short, but we'll leave myself an easy tap in par, which I'm actually really pleased with on the hole. Don't take the pin out. Easy tap in and onto the 18th. 5 wood is the club of choice. Going to hit it at those fir trees you can see in the distance and just draw it off them. Should have enough to carry them if I don't draw it. Good swing this one, absolutely perfect. Straight down the middle, good strike as well. Should leave myself sort of 120 yards in. Good lie on the fairway, ball's looking quite clean. So going at this with wedge, got 125. My wedge goes sort of 135, so it should be a good number. Pin's tucked right, so going to go straight at this because I want a birdie. Hit a good shot here, just drifting a bit to the right. It looks a bit long, got a bit of a flyer. It's landed on the back of the green. It's gone like 135 is about where I hit it. So little chip shot now. Again, a little bit of mud on it, a little bit of water, but nothing too bad. Thinking this is going to break sort of left to right. I'll be honest, I've only played here like 30 years and I didn't expect it to break that much, but it's not too bad. The actual weight was good, line not particularly great, so really want to finish this off. Been really pleased with the way I've played. Scored similar to what I'd normally score and not been placing, but I have chipped and putted well, so let's finish it off in a bit of style. And there it is, 74 shots around Churston, par 69. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for more content.